All right, squinting my eyes because I just was laying on my back, and the sun is bright. I have my shades drawn, but anyway, I hate the way I look. Ugh, ugh, the chin, the bald. I have these eyebrow hairs that grow so big. But I feel like it's a matter of honesty to show yourself. I'm even slightly ashamed about my back hair, depending on who I'm talking to. Some people don't care, but for those that do, I'm ashamed about it. I'm ashamed of this. What is that? I don't know what that is. When I was young, my mom tried to pop it like it was a pimple. It's not a pimple. It's been there forever. It's a bump, and one single hair grows out of there. And, I got to pluck it out every few months. So, I don't want to show myself. Why am I crying? Because I was squinting. I don't know. I'm not crying because I'm sad necessarily. But I could just show you this. I could just show you what's in front of me. But I'd rather show myself why in all my ugliness because I feel like it's more honest to show who I am. I don't want to be. I don't want to put on a mask and pretend I'm someone else. So the point of this video is I was just laying down and starting to feel some of my feelings, and maybe that's what I really should be doing. But as I often do, a thought came into my mind about how we're living in fear. And fear seems to be the base emotion to so much of our life. Jesus talks about how we live by our fear, like most of our choices and decisions, most of our will is based on this emotion of fear. So instead of doing what we desire to do, we're doing things to placate our fear, to try and make our fear go away. Now, that doesn't solve the problem, it doesn't actually make the fear go away. I just got a text from a friend, and that's distracted me. Sorry. But, what am I talking about? I think this is going to be a long pause. So if you want to exit now, if you want to leave, that's fine. I could pause the video, but I'm just going to carry it out. Living in fear. It strikes me that so much of what we do is now I feel I'm not as eloquent. Now I feel like, this video isn't going to be worthwhile, but I want to make something. I want to put something out there. I guess one thing I wanted to say is that I was watching this video where Jesus was talking about how, well, one person made a comment in the audience of a Divine Truth video and said that he had this experience where he felt his fear. And Jesus' response was, I suggest you've only scratched the surface. So that was pretty telling. I don't know if it was before that or after that, but somewhere around that time, I was having my own experience where I was laying down on a bed and just breathing carefully. I think I might have shared this before, but anyway, I'm going to share it again. I was breathing. I don't know if I've shared it on my YouTube channel, but I've shared it with friends a lot. Now I'm just talking. My videos are so low quality. Well, that's just the way it is. Anyway, I was laying down and I was breathing. and suddenly I astral traveled. I astral traveled to my workplace. And I think it was before work. I don't know. But anyway, I astral traveled to my workplace and I saw two friends or two coworkers talking about me. And they said that Theo guy is so negative all the time. They were talking about how negative I was. And that freaked me out so much. And I immediately jumped up from my sleeping position. Like, I was laying down like that, and I came, like, I went up 90 degrees in about, maybe 3/4 of a second. Just like, I stood straight up because I was jolted. So jolted by the idea that people think of me in a bad light, that I'm negative. I'm so concerned about the way that people think about me. And I remember when I was young, I used to say to myself, it doesn't matter what people think about me. I'm not going to be one of those people that always cares about what other people think. But it's amazing how I feel like I guess I was just naive. I don't know how much I really believed that, because the truth is, I care so much. I'm deathly afraid, and I'm very controlling about how people view me. And I want to know what they think about me, and I want to. If I was like like the head of a government, I would institute, you know, mass databases of files on people. So while I criticize what's going on in our country right now, I would do that too, because I'm a control freak. I want to control the way that people think about me. Anyway, so this experience was very telling, because what happened afterwards is that I started immediately, like, I paced the room, and I wanted to deny what just happened. I didn't like what I saw. It was so intense. It was basically fear. I was touching my fear. And it was so intense. I didn't want to acknowledge the fact that what occurred just occurred. In fact, to this day, I don't believe that I actually astral traveled. I don't believe that actually happened. Now, if it did or not, like, I'm not sure. It could have even been a dream. It could have been this, like, dream. Like, I've had moments where, I don't know if you've ever fainted yourself, but you just do this for a few seconds and you cut the oxygen off to your brain. And what you do is you have like a 2-second dream. Like, you faint and you have a 2-second dream, and then you immediately, like, wake up again. But you just transported yourself somewhere else, and the effect that you have upon waking is that you don't know where you are. So in high school, there was this, like, fainting thing where they would faint themselves, and then they would wake up to see bodies strewn across the room. And what was happening was all the teenagers in the boys' dorm were pretending that they were dead to freak out this person who had just awoken from from fainting themselves. And so there was a momentary freak out, and everyone had a good laugh. Anyway, I've done that to myself, and I've had that, like, 2-second dream. And whether that's a real thing, because I know that my understanding currently is that when you sleep at night, you can either go somewhere, you can astral travel to the spirit world. Your spirit body either goes somewhere on Earth or goes to someplace in the spirit world. You visit friends, you go discovering, you go to a class somewhere, you try and learn something, whatever you do. Or you can have a dream, which is, as Jesus would describe a dream is something where it's like a movie that was created for you, usually by your spirit guides to teach you a lesson. So I don't know if this was an actual dream that occurred, but whether it was a dream or not, or whether I astral traveled to that location and actually overheard them, which I think is pretty cool if that actually happened, and I'd like to have more information on that. The fact is that I touched my fear. The fact is that I touched my fear for the briefest moment, and what it the physical effect that it had on me, jumping from my bed like so quickly, and like my desire to deny what just occurred was so strong that I immediately started doing the dishes. I didn't really need to do the dishes. There wasn't many dishes to be done, but I was so happy that there were some dishes that I could do, just so that I could not deny what just took place. I have to do the dishes now. You know, I made up this reason. I have to do it now because the dishes need to be done, right? And damn it, I mean, I can't just let things go the way they are. Totally denying what just took place, totally denying the truth of some big event that just occurred in my life. This realization that what fear does. And so I did the dishes, and I did it so fast that I was desperately scrambling for something else to find to do. I might have cleaned something else for a little while, but it was interesting to note what it made me do. And I'll have periods like this at work, or moments like this at work, or anywhere where I feel this strong pang of fear that will guide my actions. And it really does. It's a powerful motivator, but it shouldn't be. We should be living a happy life. We should be living a more graceful existence. We should be doing what we want to do. We should be discovering and adventuring and living our purpose. That doesn't sound good. Living our purpose. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you would call it. Maybe it's something beyond words, but I believe that life should be joyful and perfection is possible somehow. I haven't found it. And I still do believe that I'm degrading, but I guess the point of this video is that so the realization that I had when I was just lying down is, sorry for my ugly face. You don't have to look, you can just listen. But the realization I had when I was lying down is that, I don't know what my fear is right now. I don't know what fear I have. I've got no idea. And yet at the same time, I have all these physical problems. I have all these health problems. And I know that, or at least I believe very strongly that my health problems are the result of this fear. So it's interesting to note that, I have no idea what's causing the problems that I have. And so I am constantly I'm constantly motivated. I can't say I have no idea because I have some idea, but like, I don't have the resolve to look at it. Let me put it that way. It strikes me that I try to make a point and I try to end on a positive note, so to speak. At least I can make some kind of point, but I cut it off, midway. And I think that's something to do with my fear of making mistakes. Like it's a perfectionist mentality to try to get everything right. So I'm trying to get everything right now, and I'm making a long video, and now I'm beating myself up mentally about it. Anyway, I'll just leave it there. Damn it, I want to say one more thing, but it's just going to be too long. So here was another really awful long video from Theo Kirkley, and yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. 14 minutes.